Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Braja Ganarandana Yashodanandana Braja Ganarandana Nasira Ganasari Yamuna Tira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Then Vishupad Paramahamsa Tri Vrajacharya Stotra Satra Sri Simad His Divine Grace Srila Charanaravind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Skandiviti Founder Acharya Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Hridas Thakur Ki Samavata Bhakta Vrinda Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Pimanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada Ki. Om Ajnanatirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Taksharimritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Hai Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostite Tata Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Siti Devi Pranamami Hari Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Shaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer our respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Sri Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayasa badrishu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati tamashloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart that becomes destroyed practically to nil, and a loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, and becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahmasamitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Sakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasyaya Namaha. The Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Granthara, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God as Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful. Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Sarabhyaya Namaha. Om Sarabhyaya Namaha. Om Sarabhyaya Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim. Yat kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Yat kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome again to our morning Bhagavatam discourse. continuing from canto number 1, I believe. Yes, chapter 5. The passing away of Bhishma Dev. Text number? 34. 34. I think 34. Yes. Yudhi. Turaga. Rajo. Vidhumra. Vishvak. Kacha. Lulita. Sramavari. Alankritasye. Mama. Nishita. Shadair. Bibi Jamana. Twachi. Twachi. Vilasat. Kavache. Astu. Krishna. Atma. Yudhi Turago Rajo Vidumra Vishvak. Kachalulita Ramavasriyalam Tritasye Mama Nishita Sarar Vibhityamana Tvachi Vilasat Kavachestu Krishna Atma Yudhi on the battlefield. Turaga horses. Raja dust. Vidhumra turned an ashen color. Vishvak waving. Sramabari perspiration. Alankrita decorated with. Asye unto the face. Mama my. Nishita sharp. Sharai by the arrows. Vividyamana pierced by. Tvachi in the skin. Vilasat enjoying pleasure. Kavache protecting armor. Astu let there be. Krishna unto Sri Krishna. Atma mind. Translation and purport of the Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. On the battlefield where Sri Krishna attended Arjuna out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hooves of the horses. And because of his labor, beads of sweat wetted his face. All these decorations, intensified by the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows, were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go unto Sri Krishna. Can you repeat after me? On the battlefield, where Sri Krishna attended Arjuna, out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hooves of the horses. And because of his labor, beads of sweat wetted his face. All these decorations, intensified by the wounds and dealt by my sharp arrows, were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go unto Sri Krishna. Purport. The Lord is the absolute form of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. As such, transcendental living service to the Lord is one of the five principal relations, namely, as such, transcendental loving service to the Lord in one of the five principal relations, namely, Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya, that is, mutuality, servitorship, fraternity, filial affection, and conjugal love, is graciously accepted by the Lord when offered to the Lord in genuine love and affection. Sri Bhishmadev is a great devotee of the Lord in the relation of servitorship. And thus, his throwing of sharp arrows at the transcendental body of the Lord is as good as the worship of another devotee who throws soft roses upon him. It appears that Bhishmadev is repenting the actions he committed against the person of the Lord. But factually, the Lord's body was not at all pained due to his transcendental existence. His body is not matter. Both he himself and his body are complete spiritual identity. Spirit is never pierced, etc. This is vividly explained in the Bible. So also it is stated in the Skanda Purana. It is said there that spirit is always uncontaminated and indestructible. It cannot be distressed, nor can it be dried up. When Lord Vishnu in his incarnation appears before us, he seems to be like one of the conditioned souls, materially encaged, just to bewilder the asuras, or the non-believers, who are always alert to kill the Lord, even from the very beginning of his appearance. Kamsa wanted to kill Rama because foolishly they were unaware of the fact that the Lord is never killed, for the spirit is never annihilated. Therefore, Bhishmadev's piercing of the body of Lord Krishna is a sort of bewildering problem for the non-devotee atheists, but those who are devotees or liberated souls are not bewildered. Bhishmadev appreciated the all-merciful attitude of the Lord because he did not leave Arjuna alone. Although he was disturbed by the sharpened arrows of Bhishmadev, nor was he reluctant to come before Bhishma's deathbed, even though he was ill-treated by him on the battlefield. Bhishma's repentance and the Lord's merciful attitude are both unique in this picture. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, a great acharya and devotee in the humor of conjugal love with the Lord, remarks very saliently in this regard. He says that the wounds created on the body of the Lord by the sharpened arrows of Bhishmadev were as pleasing to the Lord as the biting of a fiancé who bites the Lord's body, directed by a strong sense of sex desire. Such biting by the opposite sex is never taken as a sign of enmity, even if there is a wound on the body. Therefore, the fighting as an exchange of transcendental pleasure between the Lord and his pure devotee, Sri Bhishmadev, was not at all mundane. Besides that, since the Lord's body and the Lord are identical, there was no possibility of wounds in the absolute body. The apparent wounds caused by the sharpened arrows are misleading to the common man, but one who has a little absolute knowledge can understand the change in a chivalrous relation. The Lord was perfectly happy with the wounds caused by the sharpened arrows of Bhishmadev. The word Vidyamana is significant because the Lord's skin is not different from the Lord. Because our skin is different from our soul, in our case, the word Vidyamana, or being bruised or cut, would have been quite suitable. Transcendental bliss is of different varieties, and the variety of activities in the mundane world is but a perverted reflection of transcendental bliss. Because everything in the mundane world is qualitatively mundane, it is full of inebrieties, whereas in the absolute realm, because everything is of the same absolute nature, there are varieties of enjoyment without inebriety. The Lord enjoyed the wounds created by his great devotee, Bhishmadev, and because Bhishmadev is a devotee of the chivalrous, in the chivalrous relation, he fixes up his mind on Krishna in that wounded condition. Um, so translation again, on the battlefield where Sri Krishna attended Arjuna out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hooves of the horses. And because of his labor, beads of sweat wetted his face. All these decorations, intensified by the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows, were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go unto Sri Krishna. So the topic of rasa is being addressed here. Um, Arjuna is in a relationship of friendship, Sakya rasa. Um, these rasas between the Lord and his devotees are on the transcendental platform. And when these rasas are experienced in the material world, not in connection with Krishna, they are described as being perverted reflection of the original rasa. So rasa has to do with relationship. Here it mentions two things: how Grandfather Vishnadev was in the rasa of um, dasya, servant, and also chivalrous, fighting rasa. It's a very, as Prabhupada explained in the purport, not so easy to understand how someone who's being pierced by arrows is happy. We get pierced by a mosquito and we are disturbed. That is because so many factors. One main factor, of course, is that Krishna's body is not at all material, even though Avadanantimam mudham manushim tanuvasvitam, Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, fools deride me when I appear in this material world in a human form of life. So the Lord performs his pastimes seemingly as an ordinary human being. He grows up as a small child, as a baby, as a young boy. He gets married. He performs all kinds of activities, but his activities can only be understood or appreciated by those who are his devotees. So because here Grandfather Vishmadev, he is a very um, great devotee of the Lord. He is remembering this particular lila, this particular pastime that Krishna, um, out of great love and affection for his devotee, he assumed the role of a chariot driver. Gives one example. One person had gone to see the big boss in a company, and the secretary told him, he's busy right now, you please wait. So he sat down and he was waiting. After half an hour, still nothing. So then after 1 hour, he became a little impatient. So what did he do? There was no one there, so he decided, let me go and see in the keyhole. He looked in the keyhole, and what did he see? That big boss, head of the company. He was he was walking on 4 legs, and his little grandson was on his back, and he was saying, get up, get up, get up. He was playing horse. So to give pleasure to his grandson, he was like this, acting in a very simple way. So Krishna, to actually engage in loving relationship with his devotees, he takes on different roles, different positions, and as he did on the battle of Kurukshetra. Uh, we were discussing the other day how he even is ready to break his promise, which he did actually, for protecting his devotee Arjuna. But this can only be understood by those who are Krishna's devotees, who actually know that Krishna's appearance and activities are completely transcendental, and therefore devotees uh, derive great pleasure and satisfaction in hearing about these types of very deep relationship, uh, loving relationships between the Lord and his devotees. Krishna arranges in so many ways that we can awaken these spiritual relationships, and we can begin by awakening these relationships when we interact with devotees in wanting to serve and please the Lord, and please his devotees. So this is the we can say the mindset. Mindset means how Grandfather Bhishmadev is thinking and uh, lying on his bed of arrows. Um, he is in this way able to remember the Lord and his very special relationship with the Lord. Yeah. We should have that picture here. We have picture? Oh, no, the other picture. The other picture of Krishna running with the chariot wheel. That is, yeah. People, they have it in big frame usually. Very nice. Actually, this pastime has a very deep meaning. It is referred to actually when we chant Gayatri Mantra. The last mantra is actually making reference to this exchange, or to this lila, to this relationship, which which is not so easy to understand. Okay, any question on this?
How the last part of Gayatri is connected with
You have to meditate, you'll slowly, gradually understand. Here it is mentioning how the shooting of arrows by grandfather Bhishmadev, normally, as I mentioned, if we get even some little cut, we are disturbed. But grandfather Bhishmadev was shooting arrows on the body of Krishna. The arrows were piercing his body. But this was bringing satisfaction and happiness to Krishna. And those arrows are compared to throwing flowers on the body of someone. If somebody throws flower on you, then you don't feel any pain, isn't it? If somebody shoots an arrow, then it's a different story. So the Gayatri Mantra is directly dealing with this subject matter, that what is conceived from a material point of view is experienced or seen differently from a spiritual point of view. Yeah. So there are different pastimes like this which are quite deep in meaning, and which require one to give sufficient time, and it's meant to be gradually, let's say, understood or appreciated. Yeah. Okay, we can close for now. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai Sri Prabhupada ki Hare Krishna. What time is it? Clock is it? 9. 9? 9? Yeah.